Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. Michael Noland here, and tonight we're going to talk about the top 10 rock and roll disasters of 2022. You know, the more I think about it, I think that 2022 is going to go down in history as a seminal year for rock and roll and for live music and the music industry in general. It was the year that we all felt a bit safe in actually attending live concerts. It was also a year of really big acts out on tour and performing live. And of course, it was a year in which the vinyl community was shocked by the so-called MoFi lie, and it was also a year where there were some surprises as far as physical media being available to music fans, and of course there were disappointments with some of those releases. And it was also the year that Michael Jackson's wonderful Thriller album was re-released, and to a mixed reaction at best. Now, I haven't had a chance to really give a really good A and B listen to the Thriller release, but there have been disappointments in the past for me. Some of the Beatles remixes have been just so wonderful. The White Album remix, great. And I was even a fan of the Sgt. Pepper remix. I know there were some criticisms around that. However, I was not a fan of either Abbey Road's remix or the Let It Be remix. In those remixes, I'm hearing a lot of the artist's original intent being either demurred or taken out entirely. Now, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of the remix of Revolver and the new technology that was involved in order to bring us that wonderful remix. I am a fan of technology whenever it brings to the fore the original artist's original intent. And when we talk about the original stereo remixes from the Beatles, I'm not a purist there at all. I know very little was put into those mixes. It was put out mainly so that those who had stereos would have something to buy. So 2022 was full of hit and misses for the audiophile. Now, 2022 was also the year of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's debacle of not only inducting Eminem, but also Dolly Parton. Now, for those Dolly Parton fans out there, calm down. I've already said in past videos that I love Dolly Parton. She's a great singer-songwriter. She is wonderful, but she doesn't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Nor does Eminem or the multitude of rap artists that have been inducted before him. It's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, I know before the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame ever even opened their doors, the spectrum of what was rock and roll was already quite wide. I don't mind that. But there is a point where it isn't rock and roll anymore. When I listen to Hank Williams, I don't hear rock. You know, and that's my point, guys. I mean, can't we at least agree on what's not rock and roll? And especially, guys, when you consider the amount of obvious rock bands that have not been inducted, who have been eligible for years, if not decades, it just blows my mind. 2022 was also a year of a lot of court cases. Journey comes to mind. Oh man, I know I need to do a video on Journey, and I dread having to do the research on that video, but it's coming. You know, I lost what interest I had in Journey decades ago. They're just one of those bands, kind of like the Eagles, you know, more corporation than rock band. And speaking of corporate rock, what about Gene Simmons talking time and time again about a time in the future where Kiss will still tour, but not a single original member will be in that band. They will be 4 brand new members. That sounds like a Disney ride. But you know, it's not just Gene Simmons that's saying that now, guys. You know who else has said something similar? I can't believe this. Alice Cooper sees a time in the future where someone else will take on that persona. Oh my God, what the hell is happening here? He even suggests that maybe his daughter do it. It was also a year of nosebleed tickets starting at $250 each, a year of wristbands being part of the light show, something that we pay for. Yeah, a year of increased tickets for the premium seats, and the title goes to Bruce Springsteen. I found one ticket, front row, $9,010. But he's not alone. Paul McCartney was up there selling $5,000 plus tickets for his shows. In arenas that get ever bigger and a stage that shrinks, we see Jumbotron-style televisions up there, and we're paying $250 to go watch TV. And what are we getting for these increased ticket prices? How about those rock icons who choose to use that platform to preach their politics? Yada, 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 yada. Stop that. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. The Roger Waters, the Bruce Springsteens, who just can't keep their mouths shut about whatever they think needs to be preached at the time. I say, shut up. Play your music. If your politics is in your music, I'll listen to it. I'll make up my mind. I'll either buy your album or I will even go to see you, if you're willing to reasonably price your tickets, that is. But 2022 was also a year where artists acted like, well, arseholes. Trailer trash, rock and roll, inciting behavior that's even illegal at concerts, and no apologies whatsoever. Drunken swine on a tour, nothing more, ya motley fools. And it was also a year of not only increased ticket prices, but of artists touring with absolutely no brand new material. Very few original members, some of these bands with no original members and touring under the original name. And don't you even get me started talking about Ticketmaster. Oops, too late. It was the year of Ticketmaster, wasn't it? And you know, it's so clear to me that Ticketmaster needs to go by way of the dinosaur, but please don't anybody ever dig those bastards back up. But you know, 2022 was also the year where a lot of rock artists, Bruce Springsteen, blamed Ticketmaster for their high ticket prices. What a load of bullshit that is. Don't tell me papers haven't been drawn up months, if not 2 or 3 years in advance. All of these details have been gone over with a fine-tooth comb and a microscope, I guarantee you, and Bruce is aware of every damn deal he's ever made. So when I see all of this taking place, all within a single year, I've got to tell you, it can be disheartening. But hope springs eternal, and we'll cover some of the more positive aspects of 2022. But here's my question to the tribe, guys. Real basic. What do you think the condition of rock and roll is? And I also want to know, do you guys think my concerns here are legitimate? If they're not, give your reasons. That's how we start a dialogue on this channel. The real action is always in the comments. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, that's as easy as it gets. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, then hit that top bell icon, and you'll be notified of all my future videos that deal with the greatest bands and artists of the classic rock era, as well as the very best of today's music. I've also just about written my next video, and it's going to be a piece on Fleetwood Mac. I think that's appropriate right now. But until I do get that uploaded, why not watch one of these? He did it again. I'm Michael Nolan. This is The Bottom Line. We are always the tribe, and I'll see you in my next video.